yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome to my yoga time and your yoga snack for today. We're going to start standing and I've got 2 blocks close by. Now today's sequence is going to open up the body with some nourishing back bends. So when you're ready, let's come to stand, feet hip width apart. Inhaling those arms straight up in front. As you exhale, bend the knees, tuck in the chin, folding forward. Blocks are there if you need. Inhale, come halfway up. Arms out in front. Exhale to fold. Inhaling into chair pose, squeeze the heels in, bring the arms up. Exhale to fold. 2 more of those. Inhale halfway, strong in your core. Last chair pose, heels squeeze in, knees bend, bottom drops. Well done. 1 more half lift. And then as you exhale and lower down, continue to exhale as you step your left leg back, knee to the mat. Squeeze the feet towards one another, lift up the arms and cactus arms. So shoulder blades draw back onto the spine. Keep trying to drag right heel, left knee towards one another, tailbone tucking under. Feel free to engage that left buttock. Chin lift, throat forward. With your next exhalation, lower hands down to the blocks if you need, or even to the floor. Lift up that back heel. Again, continue to squeeze the feet towards one another, drop the hips and round the upper back. Well done. Stepping up to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway, arms come with you. Exhale to fold. Let's come all the way up. And hands down. We'll do that again on the other side. Halfway up. Chair pose once again, bend the knees, squeeze the heels in. Make sure your jaw is relaxed and the breath is smooth. Halfway up. If you find that these half lifts are too strong, you can always keep your hands down. Last one. As you exhale, step your right foot back, right knee down. Squeeze the feet towards one another as you come up, cactus arms. Right buttock engaged. And hands can lower to the block. Pick up the back knee. Squeeze the feet towards one another. Drop the hips, round the upper back. And stepping up. Inhale halfway. And fold. Coming all the way up. Let's go again. Similar sequence, just a few slight changes. Find your half lift. Great way to strengthen the core and your back. Exhaling down, left leg back, left knee down. Squeeze the feet towards one another, cactus arms. Well done. Lower the hands down. This time, hands are just in front of the right foot. Raise the left leg for warrior 3 legs. Outer hip rounding down, tailbone tucking under. Feel free to keep fingertips on the floor, or you might like to bring the hands to prayer, thumbs to touch the sternum. Press the palms together, firm the shoulders. And as you inhale, let's come all the way up. So coming into a balanced pose, take a hold of your left foot and spin the hand around so you're holding the big toe side. If you can't quite reach the foot, you can always use a strap. Let's tuck the tailbone under, kick the foot into the hand, option to take a mudra. Feel free to stay exactly as you are, or if it's available for you, tilt the heart forward and lift the back leg up. Try to keep tucking under through the tailbone so you don't jam in your lower back. Well done. Let's come all the way back. Hands to prayer, left knee to lift. Option to lower left foot to the mat, or take a one-legged chair, ankle to the right knee. A little squeeze behind your left knee. Take a spacious breath into your outer left hip. And release. Well done. Other side. Exhaling, right leg back, knee to the mat. Squeeze the feet towards one another, cactus arms, tailbone tucks, engage the right buttock. Chin lift, throat forward. And lower hands down. Walk those hands a little further in front, raise the right leg, warrior three legs. Stay as you are or bring the hands to prayer. Coming all the way up, strong in the legs. Coming into easy dancer, take a hold of your right foot, spin the hand around so you've got the big toe side, tailbone tucks under, already feeling a little resistance between the foot and hand. And let's release. Hands back to prayer. Either lower right foot down or come into your one-legged chair. And release. Let's inhale, arms up in front. Bend the knees, tuck in the chin, fall forward all the way down. Blocks to the side. Stepping back, find your plank. Lower knees down. So hands are nice and wide, middle fingers are parallel to one another. Pinky fingers might be fairly close to the edge of the mat. Keep those toes tucked under. Let's inhale into our back bend. Find your downward facing dog as you exhale. Holding here as you inhale, try to stretch the mat with between your feet and hands. Exhaling, knees down. Last one. And knees lowering down. So from here we'll come down onto your back. Take the feet out from underneath you. So knees are bending. Press the heels down, try and drag them towards your hips. Thumbs to sternum, lower belly firm, roll down. Once you touch down, bring those feet as close to the bottom as you can. Have those feet hip width apart. So we're going to move through a bridge flow. Now, if you have a block, you might like to use it here. Placing the block in between the thighs. If you don't have a block, just try to keep those thighs parallel to one another. As we inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. Take a moment to pause, press the feet down, tilt the hips, and then as you exhale, lifting up. Keep pressing those feet down and away. Try to firm in on the block, but relax your buttocks. Lovely. Hands will lower down as you inhale. Pick up the heels and then lower down one vertebrae at a time as you exhale. So continue to move with your breath. Inhalation, the arms lift. Take your time to prepare. And then exhalation, hips lift. Last one, we're going to hold it up this time. And this time holding it up, readjust your arms, fingertips to point to the ceiling, thumbs towards the head, pinky fingers towards the feet. Let's pick up the heels, and if you can, try and pick up the toes. So balls of the feet are on the mat. Squeeze in on the block, and now I want you to tighten your buttocks. So before buttocks was relaxed, now let's tighten. Relaxing the jaw, continue to breathe. Try to bring the outer edges of the shoulders down. And exhale, let's lower. Remove the block. You can take the knees and the hands. Arms as straight as you inhale, bend the elbows as you exhale. Inhaling, feet all the way back down to the mat. Coming up into bridge pose once again, a few options this time, no block needed. When you're ready, press feet down and away. Try and tuck the tailbone under and then lift the hips up. Option 2, stay as you are with palms either down, or you might turn the palms up, take chin mudra. Option 2, interlace the fingers and tuck the shoulders under. Or final variation, bend the elbows and take the hands to the side waist. From here, press into the left foot, point the right knee to the ceiling, and then raise the right leg. You might like to point on the inhalation and flex on the exhalation. Let's change sides. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale to straighten. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex. And release. Lower the hands down, pick up the heels, and find your way back to the mat. This time you might like to hold onto the knees just as we did before, or even take the knees a little bit wider towards the armpits. Or if it's available for your hips, you could take a happy baby pose, stacking ankles above the knees, reaching for the outer blades of your feet, pressing the feet into the hands, hands into the feet. Shoulders down. And release, well done. Let's straighten the legs and take the hands underneath the bottom. Drishti is your toes, lift the head. Watch the toes as you slowly lower down. Hover an inch above the mat and then find your way up. From here, we'll come over onto all fours and lower those forearms down to the mat. Let's bring our hands into prayer, so palms to touch, elbows underneath the shoulders, pinky fingers to press down into the mat. Drop the head and try and broaden the shoulders. Option 1 is to stay as you are. Option 2, tuck the toes under, lift those hips and take them up and back into your dolphin pose. So pressing the palms together and down, try to broaden the shoulders, moving them away from your ears. Head is hanging, it's not touching the floor. And don't be concerned if your heels are a lot higher than your downward facing dog. Relax the jaw and be with your breath. Your next exhalation, let's bring those knees down and walk the hands back. So if it feels okay for your knees, just sit back onto your heels. We're going to bring the hands together, palms apart, fingertips just touching. Inhale, coming up. And as you exhale, fold forward, child's pose. Take the hands behind you. Inhaling up. Tailbone tucks. If it feels okay for your neck, looking up. Exhale to fold. You might find each time you come up that you're coming into a little bit more of a back bend. Just be sure to tuck the tailbone under, point it down. Try and curl back from the middle part of your back, not the lower. Last one. And release. Well done. From here, let's stay up on our knees. If you need to pad the knees, you can always place a blanket, a towel, or even fold your mat over and place it underneath your knees. Let's tuck those toes under. Bring the hands behind you. Now, option 1, fingertips will point down. Option 2, fingertips will point up to the shoulder blades, so it's a little stronger there. Let's try and squeeze the thighs towards one another. Imagine you've got your block there. Point the tailbone down, hips will come forward a little. Then lift up out of the waist, curl the shoulder blades back. Take the drishti to the ceiling and gently press those heels of the palms down onto the back of the hips. Check in with your breath. And let's release. Let's come to take a seat. You can uncurl those toes. Just placing the left hand on top of the right. Just a moment to allow the back to settle. And then we'll come up into round 2. So if you do have 2 blocks, you might like to place them next to your feet, just in case you need them. Coming up once again, let's curl those back toes under. So again, we want to squeeze the thighs in towards each other. Tailbone tucks under. Option 1, fingertips down. Option 2, fingertips up. Option 3, hands next to the body. Squeeze the thighs in, tuck the tailbone. If you're in option 3, just rock back for me and then come back up. Using the strength in your legs. And when you come back, you might find you're quite close to the blocks or even your heels. Send those hips forward. Keep your drishti straight ahead. Check the quality of your breath. As you point the tailbone down, looking for space in the lower back. We don't want to jam or crunch. Well done. Strong in the legs, come all the way up. And let's lower down to tabletop. From here, threading the needle. So right arm underneath the left, bring your right ear to the mat. Left elbow can point to the ceiling. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another and firm down through the right arm. Inhale to come up and change sides. Inhale to come up. Coming onto the forearms, take the feet back and lower the hips down, coming into your Sphinx pose. So option to stay here in Sphinx, otherwise a little core work. And sometimes it's nice to practice a little core after a deep back bend, as it helps to support the back. Press down through the feet, lift the hips and look toward your belly button. Well done, hips down. And let's lower down, roll over onto your back. So once on your back, let's release the spine with a twist. Move your hips a touch to the left, cross your left leg over the right, and bring the knees down to the right. You can always place a block underneath the knee for support. Arms can be out to the side. If this left shoulder lifts up a little too high, you can always prop it with a block, or even just rest the arm down next to the hips instead. Let's take the breath into the lower back and the outer hip. Inhale those knees back to center, changing sides. Hips shift a touch to the right, right leg over the left, knees come down to the left. And inhale those knees back to center, uncrossing the legs. Let's move into Shavasana. So Shavasana is a wonderful time for the body to reset, alignment-wise. But it's also a nice time for the benefits of your practice to assimilate in the body. And today in Shavasana, you might like to take Hridaya Mudra through the hands. It's a good one for the heart center. So you'll curl your index finger in so the base of the nail meets the base of the thumb, and bring your middle finger and your ring finger, just the tips, to touch the thumb. Pinky fingers extended. Shoulders tuck under. Relaxing the face. Allowing the eyes to roll back. And bring your awareness to the heart center. Breathe into this space. And I'll leave you here today, yogis. Please take as much time as you need in Shavasana. I hope you enjoyed the practice, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.